Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the Steam 2 video. And with the second week of Ghost to the Deep now in full motion, Bungie has turned on the loot, meaning that we have higher chances at getting the shiny weapons, as well as just getting weapons randomly when you kill some enemies this week. This is like the perfect week to farm if you're looking for a specific weapon, especially if you're looking for some of those shinies. So I decided that today was gonna be a good time to revisit a different type of farm. Now, a lot of you guys may actually seen the farm video I posted last week that you can farm by yourself in the middle traversal section. But in today's video, we're actually going to focus on the first encounter, how you can farm the first encounter, and some of the advantages it has over some of the other farm. We'll have a build suggestion so you can run the farm, and at the very end, we'll have a full run so you can see just how the whole thing goes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. Now, the very first thing we gotta talk about is some of those advantages that the first encounter has over the middle traversal section. And the big one is that you get more manifolds. In the traversal section, you only get 20 manifolds. Well, for the first encounter, you actually get 180 manifolds. Actually, I think it might be 170. But still, it's a lot more manifolds. So if you're trying to get a bunch of those, then the first encounter is gonna be much better. And another thing that you also get at the first encounter is that your adept weapon drops with double perks, meaning that you actually have a better chance at getting the role that you're actually looking for since you're getting more perks for weapons. And this is with every single weapon you get from the chest here in this first encounter, they're always going to have double perks. And that is just not something that happens in the traversal section, so it's definitely a very nice benefit. Now the traversal section, it still has the ease of use because it's just very easy to run that, especially by yourself. Well, for the first encounter, it's definitely gonna be a little bit harder, but with a certain build, it's definitely gonna make it a little bit easier. And speaking about the build, let's actually take a look at what we're running today. Now the easiest class to farm this, I think, is gonna be the Warlock, but the Consecration Titan will also work pretty well. They're both gonna be pretty good. But I think the Warlock with the Devour just gives you even more survivability than even the Consecration Titan. For the weapons, you basically want a Tanisha's Mastery with Chill Clip, and then a rocket. It doesn't really have to be like a specific rocket. As long as you have some pretty good blast radius, you're pretty much gonna be good to go. And the reason we're wearing the Tanishas is because of a stasis weapon, so every time we do damage with it, it gives us Darkness Transcendence energy, and the Chill Clip is amazing for dealing with the Ogre. Whenever you hit it with the Chill Clip, it kind of staggers, and then you slow it, you freeze it. It basically never really has a chance to really fight you with his beam when you're hitting it with Tanishas. So it's gonna make dealing with the ogres very easy, while at the same time giving us a bunch of Darkness Transcendence energy. And then the rocket is, in case you want to clear some mats with the rocket, with the mods that we have on, you should be getting a bunch of ammo back, and they're really running into any ammo issues. But I thought I was going to actually use the rocket a lot more than I ended up using it, because we just have our melee back so quickly that we just keep spamming it. Another thing that you're definitely going to need is going to be an exotic class item with the Centoceps perk. That's it, that's the only one you need. The other perk doesn't really matter. As long as you have one with the Centoceps perk, you're pretty much going to be good to go. This is going to increase your melee damage by 100% when you're surrounded by 3 enemies. And since there's always going to be lots of enemies, every time we use our Lightning Surge, we're always going to be taking advantage of this 100% increased damage, which means we pretty much just one-shot the wizards. And we're also going to be chunking those Hive Light Bearers whenever we have the Centoceps perk. It's basically going to make it so our Lightning Surge can pretty much one-shot the wizards and everything that spawns around them using one Lightning Surge, which is huge. Now for the subclass, we are going to be on the Prismatic Warlock, and for the super, I recommend that you go with the Song of Flame. The Song of Flame is going to make it very easy and very safe when it comes time to actually turning your rune. You go to the middle, pop your super, destroy the wizard, activate the deep sight, and then we look for the right statue, all while having tons of damage resistance from our super. And if there's a lot of enemies close by, we can always just do a melee and a grenade and cause tons of ignitions. I found that this is like the safest and easiest way to get this middle part done and basically guarantee that you never die. For your abilities, you want to go Phoenix Dive. For your melee, you want to go Arcane Needle so we can get 3 charges on our melee. And lastly, for the grenade, Vortex Grenade I think is the best. It sucks everything in, and it basically guarantees that you're going to kill like a whole group of enemies, including a wizard. And it's also going to weaken targets, so it makes dealing with some of the bigger enemies, like the Hive Guardians, just a little easier. For the aspects, we're going to be wearing Lightning Surge plus Feed the Void. Feed the Void is what's going to give us a bunch of grenade energy, as well as give us health every time we get some kills. And then lightning surge is the main thing that we're abusing. Every time you see a group of enemies, like some wizards with some smaller enemies, you basically use lightning surge in there and watch them all disappear. This plus the class item just makes you unstoppable. And lastly, for the fragments, we're gonna have the faceted protection for more damage resistance whenever we're surrounded. And then we're gonna have the faceted devotion as well as the faceted sacrifice, so we can build up our transcendence meter, our light and darkness, just a lot faster, so we can proc our transcendence a lot more, and so we can continue spamming our lightning surge. After that, we're gonna have the faceted dominance. This is gonna give both our normal and transcending grenades some weaken to help us kill some of those bigger enemies, or so they just deal more damage. And lastly, and this is one that I didn't have at first, but I figured I should add it here to add a bit more safety. It's gonna be the faceted purpose. We're gonna be making lots of orbs whenever we get kills with a lightning surge. So whenever we pick up some of those orbs, we gain restoration, meaning that we're constantly gonna be regenning even when we're not getting kills. So this just kinda adds another layer of safety just so you won't die. Now for the artifact, the main two that you want to keep in mind are gonna be flashover, so your bolt charge does more damage, and then also dielectric, so you can build up your bolt charge whenever you kill something with your lightning surge. If you boost it, it also gives you even more safety, because whenever you kill something with a bolt charge, you also gain back some health. And for your rocket, you want perpetual destruction as well as heavy ordnance, so you can get more ammo back, so you can get some extra damage resistance, and also on top of everything, also regen your abilities faster. Like always, there's gonna be a dim link to this build in the comments below in case you guys just wanna add or equip it, and it'll come with the mods as well. The mods will give you extra super energy on melee kills, so every time that we need the super for the middle, we're gonna have it. And we're also gonna be making orbs whenever we kill something with a lightning surge, meaning that we basically are always activating that restoration to give us that extra safety, as well as having some resistances that just kind of match the encounter. But that's pretty much it for the build. Good luck farming your rolls, hopefully get some good shinies, and hopefully you get the perfect rocket, because I know a lot of you guys are looking for the rocket and the SMG. And now I'm just going to show you a full run. This is definitely not the perfect run. I actually chose it for the opposite because this run actually had lots of mistakes, just to kind of show you that even if you're making mistakes along the way, you'll still be able to get this done. You don't really have to be perfect every single time to completely solo this encounter. And even though this one cut it a little bit close, I think I had like 15-20 seconds by the time we finished it, you could definitely do it. Good luck, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day.